Welcome to this special Kentucky Derby edition of Drawing Along with Dan. I'm Dan Lietha, cartoonist and illustrator, and I've been doing these draw along features Monday through Friday. In fact, I just started this past week, and I hadn't intended to do this over a weekend, but hey, today is Kentucky Derby Day, and so I thought I'd do a special one just for grins, and I'm going to draw a horse. Now, I've been drawing these with reference up in the corner, and then I kind of block it out and such. Well, the picture that I'm using today is not copyright free, so I can't put it on the screen, but I can still draw it. So you're going to see me looking like this a lot because my reference is right there. And so let's get drawing. And I'm going to have to just draw this out without you seeing the reference. So let's it's a funny picture of a horse. Uh, I I saw it and I thought, oh, I've got to draw that. So the other tricky thing about this is that the horse has his nose pointing towards the camera. So this is a foreshortened shot where instead of seeing the side of something, it's pointing towards you. And sometimes drawing stuff that's like that can be kind of tricky. And so I'm going to do my best here. Again, just kind of blocking things out to the bottom jaws, kind of like that. Then he's got the top teeth, his teeth right here, and then the front of his nose is like that. One nostril is kind of like that, and the other one is kind of like that. I wish I could show you the reference photo. Maybe some of you could look up horse or laughing horse, and that would get you to the photo that that I'm using for reference here. It's almost kind of a cartoon all by itself. Not so long ago, I was in the market for a car, and I was looking up videos on cars and which one's good, which one's not, and all that sort of stuff. And I came across a particular YouTuber that has a very, very interesting sense of humor. Anyway, he's very talkative and has a lot of words and makes a lot of jokes and stuff. And a lot of the times when he would say something funny, he would flash on the screen a picture of an animal that's in a pose that makes it look like it's laughing. And then this picture and a lot of other horse pictures and other animals would be used. And it was really, really funny. Now, just to be clear, we see this as a smile and a laugh. Humans can interpret this photo that way. But the truth of the matter is that this horse is not laughing. It's making an expression that means something totally different to the horse. But we as humans love to look for things that are similar to what humans do. So the eye goes right about there. The other one right across. You actually can't see the other one because it's covered with horsehair. And then I'm going to have to shrink this down a little bit. It's going off the screen. In fact, a little bit more. There we go. Because his ears. Now I'm going kind of fast on this, just my own speed. Sometimes when I want people to draw with me, I'll go slower. So, my question for you as I'm drawing this is, are you watching the Kentucky Derby? Now, I live in the state of Kentucky, and so that the Derby is kind of a big thing around here. And last year's Derby was, I think, about as good as you can get. I don't know that I'll ever see a better one in my lifetime. Just so you know too, I'm not a huge horse fan, not a huge horse racing fan or anything like that. But like I said, it's a big deal here in Kentucky. A number of years ago, back when I worked for the Ministry of Answers in Genesis, I I would do caricatures at the Creation Museum on Saturday. And one thing I noticed was that on Kentucky Derby Day, just forget it. Don't draw caricatures on that day because no one showed up. It was a very low population day on Kentucky Derby Day. Now I said that last Kentucky Derby was about as good as you can get, and I don't think one will ever be better than that. So what happened? As best I recall, there was a horse that entered the race just a few days or a couple days or something before the race. This horse was not really ever intended to be in the race, apparently. And, another horse had to scratch, and so there was a space for it. So this horse got in. And I was listening to an interview with the announcer of the Kentucky Derby, and he practices the names of horses before the race just so he can know them by number and look and all of that. So when you've got 2 minutes to announce an event like that, you have to be accurate and such. And so he was ready for it, and he was kind of making light of the fact that he wouldn't have to know this other horse's name or something like that. Anyway, that other horse ended up entering the race because there was a spot for it. And it ended up coming from almost all the way the end of the race field and won the race at the end of the race. It was quite amazing. So look it up if if you want to go see the probably the best Kentucky Derby that you'll ever see in your lifetime. All right, so that's my rough sketch there. It looks pretty good, I think. What I might do, though, to exaggerate it a little bit more, is take this mouth and make it open even more. And then I want to keep a good size to the horse and such on the screen, but at the same time, I want to exaggerate a little bit. That the mouth is just the best part of this picture of this horse. Yeah, I mean, it makes it. It actually, usually you look at the eyes on a creature or something like this, but what he's doing with his mouth is just really, really funny. Here's another thing for you too. This week I've been doing these draw along with Dan videos. And there was one day that I didn't have I had an appointment somewhere else during that time. I usually do these at noon. And so I pre-recorded the video. And then that shows up different on my YouTube channel. So my question is it worth doing these live? Because the one that I pre-recorded and then posted on YouTube did tons better than any of the live ones that I've done. So this video itself is going to be pre-recorded. So I'm going to kind of gauge to see how it does. And maybe I'll pre-record them instead of doing them live, but I thought live was going to be kind of cool. People can comment and ask questions and such, but maybe that won't be an advantage. This hair is really fun. Just kind of blowing all over the place. And that other ear back here. Wait a minute. Let me change that line inside there because that ear was not pointing quite right. I don't have to be completely accurate to the photo, but and this is the real key to making this look foreshortened is that bridge of that nose is coming out. So that's about the only thing that gives you a feeling of length, because when something's pointing at you, you don't have a true feeling of how long it is, because part of it's real close and then part of it's here, and it just makes it tough to draw arms and legs and things like that are, like I said, foreshortened. Now this nostril is kind of crunched up a little bit, which looks funny too. So again, look up horse laugh, and you'll get a feel for what the original looks like. They're the reference that I'm using right now. It's got this crumpled up section of it, so it's because it's lifting his upper lip up, and so the flesh back here is kind of folding up. Love the shapes. And then there's a little more than now I'm interpreting this part a little bit more than it actually is on the horse, but it's not too far away from what it looks like. Again, a really, really funny picture. I'm going to have to move that down a little bit, so I'll just kind of draw that in. And the teeth go like this. Put some indication of shadow for shape there. I remember when I was in high school, and if my teacher saw me, she'd probably be insulted by this. But I don't mean it as a comparison to a horse, but there was a gym teacher in my high school, and she was a really great, encouraging person. Friendly, and she knew that I drew. I was an artist, and she gave me a family picture, her husband and kids and such. They were all posing a nice studio photo, and she said, could you draw this for me? 'Cause I guess she wanted to give it as a gift or something. And so I said sure. So I don't remember if I got paid for it or anything, but so I drew this picture, and she actually had this really big toothy smile. And again, I'm a young artist in high school, just kind of learning, and I drew the picture, and I rendered, like in great detail, every tooth in her mouth. And she was kind about it, but I remember her making some kind of comment about seeing all her teeth or something like that. That even though you see it in the photo, leaving out some detail helps, because wherever you put the detail, that's where you look. And so she had all this, nice drawing of her face and such, but you looked at her mouth because I had drawn in all these teeth. So there's a little bit of advice for you to consider what detail you actually put into a drawing. Some of it you don't have to put so much detail. Where do you want the audience to look? And actually, the name of the teacher was Lynn Paulson. Very, very nice lady. And I have no idea about anything about her. It's probably since the 1980s. I graduated in 82, so now I'm really dating myself. Yeah, I'm an old man. Horses are fun to draw. My mom loves horses. We're drawing a picture of a horse for her. That was a real cross-hatched, highly detailed picture. Can't remember exactly where the reference came from. Might have been one of my animal books. I think that's probably where it was. I was going to say National Geographic, but I don't think so. I think it was one of my animal books that I had lots of when I was a kid. Loved animals. Still do. But I was a little animal crazy back then. I'd go to a zoo and I could tell you the name of all the fish and all the animals, and so I guess it's kind of no wonder that I'm doing a feature these days that I do for Reasons for Hope called Draw It and Know It, and it's a feature about animals mostly. And so if you go to the Reasons for Hope YouTube channel, you can find my Draw It and Know It feature there. Just search for it. And it's about a 15 to 20 minute ish, roughly, feature where I instruct the young artist or the artist, however old they are, how to draw a particular creature, and then I talk about the creation features of that creature. So get some shadow on this, the mane's coming down on the other side. And then some shadow underneath where the hair is there. Try to put some indication of that this is darker hair. I want to keep the looseness of that hair though. Hair still remains a challenge for me. When I was doing caricatures at the museum, oh man, I'd get these ladies with this intricate hair, and I would just go, oh my. Versus getting a bald man going, yes, no hair. uh, so there we are. Apparently laughing horse. It's not really laughing, but to us humans, it looks like it's laughing. So it is a funny picture. Just enjoy it for the humor that we as humans can read into it. And then, well, let's see. I gotta make my sketch go away. So there's the laughing horse, and finish my drawing by signing my name. And I put .com. Go to my website and find all kinds of more of my artwork, stuff that I've done in the past, and some more recent things, and it does need to be updated, but that's a great place to find out about a lot of resources that I also recommend for people too. So Kentucky Derby Day. I hope you enjoy the Derby, and check out my videos Monday through Friday. Draw along with Dan at noon Eastern time, and I'll try to figure out if I want to keep doing these live or not. So let me know in the comments below what you think. Thanks for watching.